Hi everyone, and happy Chanukah. I just want to share a quick idea about Chanukah with you all. Last year, I remember when we were celebrating Chanukah, all over social media, there were loads of pictures of people lighting their Chanukiahs in all various locations around the world. But one picture that really stood out for me was when there was a Hatsala call being responded to in Lakewood. And as the volunteers were wheeling the lady out of her home to go into the ambulance, they stopped so that her husband could light the Chanukiah. And as he lit this menorah, he also lit a potato with a wick inside that was sitting there next to the Chanukiah. And the Hatzalah members asked, "Why are you lighting this random potato? What's going on here?" And he said that he always lights this potato every year with one wick inside to remember the amazing miracle of him being saved each year and from the Chanukiah that he lit when he was running away from the Nazis during the Holocaust. Now, Hanukkah is a time for heroes, and we remember the brave Maccabees who shouted, Mi Hashem Elai, whoever is with Hashem, come and be with us, and who fought against this humongous, mighty Greek army. It's also about the brave Jews who practiced their Judaism despite a fear of real persecution from the Greeks, who maintained that their Hellenized ways were the way forward and what everybody should be doing. And throughout the generations, we have seen many stories, just like the one I mentioned, of Jews who, against their own tyrants, have stood up and lit the Chanukiah and illuminating their world of darkness with some tiny specks of light. But how do we relate to that today? We're very lucky we can light our candles openly and proudly here in Canada. So how can we bring that message home to us? So how do we, as Jews, define heroes? Now, in Pirkei Avot, Ethics of the Fathers, it says, who is considered to be strong and brave? Who is considered to be a hero? Someone who conquers their Yetzer Hara, their evil inclination. Luckily, we are not always called upon to be heroes like the Maccabees or like this man from Lakewood who was against the Nazis. But throughout our days, there are so many opportunities for us to be heroes, for us to overcome our base desires and become heroes too. Now, as well as it being Hanukkah, we also always at this time of year, we read the parashiot, retelling the story of Yosef in Egypt. And we see how Yosef goes from being a regular guy to being Yosef HaTzadik, Yosef the righteous, Yosef the person who has so close to Hashem and also so close to Pharaoh. How does this transformation occur? When we read the parasha of Vayeshev, the Torah tells us that Yosef, V'hu Na'ar, he was a young lad, he was a small guy. And Rashi understands that means that he was immature, he was vain, and this is how he approached life. We can also see this about how he approached his brothers about his dreams. He thought a lot of himself. He was quite egotistical and he was very vain and he was quite self-indulgent. Yet later on in his story, we see how Yosef transforms himself and he overcomes his natural tendency to become a true hero, to become the tzaddik that we know him to be. When he is called from the prison to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, rather than saying, yes, I have a wonderful gift, I'm able to help you and restore your peace of mind, he states that it's not through his own wisdom that he can interpret the dreams, but Hashem will provide an answer. He overcame his own desire for being arrogant and being haughty, and in its place, he became humble and modest. And that is why he is worthy of the title of Yosef HaTzadik. Being a hero is not like a one-time accomplishment. It's not like being Superman and doing one big brave act. Very few people will do something in their lives that will label them as being heroic for the rest of their days. Being a hero is a constant challenge. It is a lifestyle choice that we make. When we decide not to give in to our desires, when we decide not to shout at our friends and be mean to people, when we let people go ahead of us in their line, even though it's not necessary, when we don't pass on that juicy piece of gossip because we know the effects could be devastating. Being a hero is about being mindful about the choices that we make each and every day, many of which others will never, ever know about. Wishing everybody a happy Hanukkah, and may we all become heroes in our own way.